not introduce much. He'll be talking about natural resources. Okay, so we'll start with his presentation. Sir, can I share
Yes,
right
yes,
now?
yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. Uh,
Okay. Students, please let me know whether it is visible or not. Yes, is it visible?
Pardon me, ma'am. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
what happened?
मला विजिबल नाही होऊन राहिलं मॅडम.
नहीं होता?
हां.
मैम विजिबल नहीं है, शायद थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा.
Okay, I can talk in the meantime
Yes sir,
about
yes.
yeah.
Yes, please
Uh,
continue.
uh, yeah. A very good afternoon to all my dear students, respected students, and I mean my topic of today's topic I have taken is natural resources, and in the meantime, let the presentation takes its own time to come on your screens. But natural resources, if you look, we are all a component of natural resources. We are basically called human resources. And the topic I'm going to talk of is natural resources. Now, since all you people belong to second year, and if you do, and since you are all going to try for all competitive examination, if you look at the word natural resources itself, it has got two components. One is got resources, another is natural. So this collectively, when you do a word analysis of this word, a composite word or a compound word, you get a feeling straight away or a conclusion, a word meaning that are resources which are coming out from nature, or they are generated from nature, fabricated from nature, or processed from nature. That is what the definition for a simplest definition for a natural resource I will put. I have not taken any standard definition from the textbook from the Barucha's book. Though I request everybody that everybody should read this book, Barucha's book. That person has taken very pain to write it in a very novel form, in academic form, and in fact, if you look at his forward messages and all that, the pains he has taken, the collaborative efforts he has made out, and the case studies he have put behind every chapter is worth reading, because today or tomorrow, all of you people who are going to graduate is going to become an officer or a group leader in his own microscopic organization, and he has to attempt such activities in his own life, at a professional life, at a societal life. So this book is essentially a nice workbook. I'll suggest it out. And our lectures are basically, I'll say kudos to Sarika ma'am. She has been groomed for this one. That is why she has been given this responsibility. So this is nothing but an icing on that cake, basically. I'll say, and it motivates to you that you can search out to what extent or the scope of the environment science or natural resources is taking place. Now, coming down to natural resources, if you look at our whole curriculum, my second slide was that our all curriculum basically, whether it's basic sciences, whether it is engineering, whether it is technology, or even humanities, they're all nothing but a study of natural resources also. For example, suppose I'm a man from physics. Now, in physics, basically, I study the whole natural resources phenomena. What are the natural phenomena in the various chapters: electricity, magnetism, electronics, all natural resources. Their properties, and it is not this. The properties, processing, and then application. So the subjects in basic sciences, what it is, the biological people will study the vegetation, the zoology people will study the animal kingdom, what their classification, their origin, how the gradation took place with respect to evolution, how the carnivores came, how the herbivores came, how we human beings came out, what is our age, what is our scope, basically, how we are living and all that. So that means it is nothing but the origin, properties, attributes, and use and takes, our contribution to this Mother Earth. No, and engineering people will all study the application of natural resources, to what extent they can apply to the society for the betterment of the society or to dominate the society, basically. Okay. Technology will talk out how to harness it, the technology which is not usable today, the material which is not usable, how to make it, how to tap it, how to use it in a friendly way, so that we progress. In terms of, you can say, if I put it in a very blunt way, in a materialistic way. Okay. Now coming down to, this is all about basic sciences, science and technology, which is nothing but, our curriculum is basically in the natural resources, very much in the focus, or natural resources is, we are studying it on different categories. That is what I wanted to say here. Now, humanities is also not far behind. In the humanities, we study about this natural resources, how it has been distributed, what sort of a disparity there, what sort of a society we had, what sort of a civilization he had. And again, subjects, sociology, economics, then history, I mean, all humanities also is again, I mean, indirectly focused to this natural resource in a curriculum form. Now coming down to religion, I mean, again, the second slide I talked about science and spirituality. I can't talk in academic classes about religion and all that. So I used the word spirituality. Now, if you look at the science and spirituality aspect, we talk of prolonging effect. How our future generation should live in this planet or in this Vasudhara or in this Mother Earth forever, basically. So what we talk, so the religion or spiritual aspect talks about it. And that has, I mean, the catchy words again, since we are living in the science and technology age, it is basically the word catchy words are all eco-friendly, green energies, sustainable development, organic farming. These are the words. And these are not the catchy words or advertisement words, basically. You can find it out. People are doing out experiments at their own level. I mean, in the profession, there are some groups who have found their own groups doing it or the work. In fact, a person near to our Nagpur, basically from Amravati, Palekar has been received a national award also for this one. He has been promoting natural organic farming, and there are a lot of, I mean, various types of components inside it. Okay, people are doing it because the new trend of agriculture which has come out through an offshoot of an industrial revolution, has been, I mean, he's eating our body and has made our body to be more and more disease catching, basically through various pesticides and chemical fertilizers and all that. Whereas the organic route was one of the best one. It was very supportive to our body. It was very much belonging to our body. Okay, then I talked about the thing. I mean, if you look at the backbone for all these natural resources, our Eastern philosophy. So in the Eastern philosophy, the core concept of our Eastern philosophy is basically wastage is a sin, basically. म्हणजे मराठीमध्ये म्हणून एकही दाना एकही शीत आपण वाया नाही घालायचं. म्हणजे अगर कोणी उष्टा ठेवते तर आपण म्हणतात की त्याला देवाचा पाप लागेल म्हणून. दॅट वॉज द वर्ड विच आय सीन through my grandfathers or any relatives and all that. And if you go any social event, anybody is उष्टा ठेवत आहे तर लोक त्याच्यावरती नावं ठेवायचे. But if you look at one of the topmost concept, Dil Mange More, there is an advertisement. I don't know whether can you recall this advertisement from which company this belongs, because that product everybody is taking it out, you younger generation, and some of the topmost your film actor and all that is giving it out as an underlying that yes, he enjoys that one. I won't tell you the product name, basically, because that is not my intention. But the Western civilization is totally based on this concept, Dil Mange More. Now with this, I mean, so this is all the, I mean, you can say the backbone of our natural resources, which I wanted to make you frame. And now since we are living in a science and technology age, the industrial revolution has given a birth to a consumer culture. And this consumer culture is basically gulping down, I'll say, all the natural resources with an accelerated frame, so that, I mean, anything which is renewable is also getting non-renewable. That is what the concept I want to frame or say to this through this lecture is that the Western concept of consumer culture, जहाँ हमें हमारी एक शर्ट या एक पैंट में हम जिंदगी गुजार सकते हैं, तीज या त्योहार में या शादी के अवसर पर हम कपड़े खरीदते थे, अब ऐसा हुआ कि हर एक महीने में नागपुर में कहीं सेल लगती है, we go and purchase it out just because my contemporary is purchasing, just because that is a color which is very much popular in our friend circle or in an academic circle or in a professional circle. So we are भले हम पहने या ना पहने, that is a different issue. तो एक अलमारी की अलमारी हमारी शर्ट पैंट और हमारे सब कपड़ों से भरी पड़ी रहती है. So that means this much of accumulation of material possession is going on. We change out mobiles, we change out a car, this sort of a thing. So ultimately this whole load comes out of Mother Earth. Now coming down to natural resources, basically. Now if you look at the history of, basically, this is all the present, I mean, this is all nothing but the present scenario of a natural resources, which I talked about it. And the consequences to that, there will be nothing left for our future generation. Future generation means my great grandsons, granddaughters and all that, and everybody's. And in this process of evolution, of industrial evolution, slowly, all the natural habitats, there were many varieties of animals, plants, they are getting extinct, they are getting out of scene, they're dying it faster. So that means it will be all concentrated of we the human beings, we the people everywhere, with a big urban explosion of the populations. Now coming down to all this natural resources, if I go back to the history, if you look at the history, basically all our evolution of mankind is basically all good civilization. They have taken place on the banks of the river only. Indus Valley civilization, Nile civilization, Egyptian civilization, Mesopotamian civilization, Chinese civilizations and all that. So water was one of the important resources. I mean, I'll talk in my presentation only the three important resources on which our life dwells basically. Let it be any life. It may be a life of, say, in a Mars, it may be a life to anything. That is, one is food basically, one is water, and another is basically energy. So these are the three fundamental resources, natural resources, which I have put out. In fact, they define our culture and all that. So out of them, the first one I wanted to talk or through my slide is basically a water basically. Now, if you look at the water basically, water is around 3/4 of our planet Earth is, I mean, surrounded by water basically. So much of water is there. A very good quote was there by Milton, water, water, everywhere water, but not a drop to drink the water. That means the water which is available in our planet Earth is not fit for our human consumption. That
Sir,
is
just a minute. I'm
70% of it is all.
sir, आपको slide change
Yeah.
करनी हो तो please let me
बोलो.
know.
No, but I'm not seeing the slide, beta.
No slide. It is visible.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Yes.
हाँ तो थोड़ा आप मुझे
क्योंकि-
बताइए अगर slide change करनी है तो.
Okay. Okay, ये वाली अभी इसको मैं बता देता हूँ. Okay, I'll just talk it about. So the relevance of this environmental science has come out just because we have to preserve this environment, and you people are the better candidates than us, than we old people, because we will not be able to put our aggressive effort for this preservation and nurturing out of it, restoring it basically. So that is why government made it mandatory that all undergraduate students should undergo this expository course of environmental sciences. This is as far as the academic exercise is concerned. And I put it down in my biodata that I am an NSS officer. The reason for that one is government of India slowly is putting us, putting this means all schools and colleges, particularly on the colleges, that we should conduct more and more environmental related activities. Like the last year we had Swachhata Pakhwala, in that when many of the small components of this natural resources we did for whole 15-day exercises. In fact, many of the teacher colleagues who are present here, they were one of the aggressive teacher faculty members directly involved in it. Okay. And then another, when you go for a job, a corporate social responsibility like concept is there, where the companies are requested to do an offshoot business catering to the society, of course under the banner of them. That word is called corporate social responsibility. And when a company or a corporate house does such corporate social responsibility, they get a taxation benefit is there. Now, I'll just ask a quick question to you on the corporate social responsibility to the students present here. Can you recall any of the corporate social responsibility item present in our college campus? Any company which has given some product for our college development on the name of natural resources to our college? Can you recall it out, anybody? On the name of corporate social responsibility, the natural resources they are given to us. I mean, I'll tell you, we have got a water cooler that is, जहाँ हम लोग ऑफिस में फीस वगैरह पे करते हैं, जो वाटर कूलर जो लगा है बेटा, वो हमको WCL से मिला है, कॉर्पोरेट सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी के लिए. दैट इज व्हाट आई वांट टू मेक यू फील दैट गवर्नमेंट इज सो मच और कंपनीज आर सो मच ऑफ इन्वॉल्व बेसिकली, कि हमको भी अपने कॉलेज में भी वाटर कूलर जो है वो कॉर्पोरेट सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी के तहत WCL से मिला हुआ है. मैडम प्लीज नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. Next slide, madam. Madam, next slide.
Change किया है ना सर?
The water वाला yes. Okay, now this natural, natural resources have been into two categories. I mean, this part, abiotic and biotic, this basically one of the madam has already talked out. I think Sonika ma'am has talked. One is coming out from the living organism, another is called the non-living organism. So non-living means immediately land, then air, this sort of a components are there. And when you talk of biotic, bio, wherever the bio words means it is living. उसमें जीवनदायी शक्तियां हैं या प्राणदायी है. So then animals, plants, they all come. J.C. Bose was a person who talked that yes, plant has got a life and all that. Now, combined effect of abiotic and abiotic, they form an ecosystem. That means any independent system which has got a growth, survival capacity and has got an existence of its own, that is called an ecosystem basically. In that ecosystem, you've got a plant ecosystem, animal ecosystem, land ecosystem, aquatic ecosystem. This sort of, even management sciences is using this word ecosystem very much profoundly. So that means, what it means is basically, if you look at all the words of science and technology, they're not confined to the subject, hardcore subject itself. Wherever they find that the properties are visible, that word itself has become acceptable by that community. So ecosystem is very much used in management sciences. Next slide, madam. Okay. Coming down to one of the fundamental resources, I mean, as I said in my earlier talk, I mean, just थोड़ा देर पहले मैंने बोला था कि मैं आज पानी के बारे में, दूसरा आपके एनर्जी के बारे में और फूड के बारे में बात करूंगा, because these are the three important concepts for our survival. पानी, if you look at the water, 70% is our has got a compositional volume compositional our earth has got, but that water is basically salty water, not fit for our drinking. And if you look at the drinking purpose ratio, basically only 3% is available for fit for human consumption, and after that 3%, only 1% is available for us. That is river, ponds, and land, river, lakes, and these borewell waters and all that. And now slowly, this, I mean, consumption due to industrialization, human population, and misuse, and then disturbing this precise water resources through pumping of all the bad chemicals in the groundwater, is disturbing this rich resource. एक जमाना था कि पानी पीने के लिए आपको कहीं इधर उधर खोजना नहीं पड़ता था, अभी पानी के लिए भी है 15 रुपए की बोतल मिलने लगी. That means water has become so expensive, and this water basically our body composition also, you look, it is only 70%. I mean, हमारा body का जो composition है और अर्थ का जो पानी का composition is one of the same thing. Okay, now coming down to the annual consumption, our daily, that is around 50 liters of the UNO says, or that our consumption per day, नहाने से लेकर खाने से लेकर सब कुछ. लेकिन this is a standard figure, something like that. There is a variation. अफ्रीका वगैरह में जहाँ पानी नहीं मिलता, या राजस्थान में बोलो, या डेजर्ट में जहाँ पानी नहीं मिलता, वहां पे ये वेरिएशन ज्यादा है बेटा. So this is basically an upper limit, that is 50 liter is a fit annual per day consumption of water, basically. Okay. Now in this one, I mean, another catchy words which I wanted to show is that, I mean, now I'll come down to the slightly the technological part or the science part, that water has got three phases. जैसा हमारा होता है ना जवानी, बुढ़ापा और बचपना, वैसे वाटर की 3 phases है basically, जो सभी लोग आप जानते होंगे. जो आर्ट्स वाले नहीं जानते उनको मैं बताना चाहता हूँ. Basically, one is liquid, which you know as a water. Another is vapors, basically, or steams, basically, which is present in the clouds and all that. And the third is ice, basically. No, it is these 3 phases of the water. Okay, they form a hydrological cycle, and by the application of the sun, this water is circulating. That means this water is not newly produced. The water which we are consuming, it is as old as when the planet Earth was formed, basically. So it is the same water which is going on into circle and circle and circle, of course, interacting with other biochains and all that. Okay, next slide, madam. Okay, now if you look at the consumption of the water, the category of utilization of the water is concerned, what the international figure says, that the water is being 70% is used in agriculture, then 25% is used in industry, and 5% is used for a domestic consumption. Now this is an international figure. In India, the figure varies, and from country to country, this figure varies basically. Now, mind well, students, that these statistical figures which are, it is something like a research activities, and it changes basically. So that is why I said that this book, Bharucha's book, forms a backbone for you people. The data, or they're not something like a standard fixed value of a scientific, that yes, the acceleration due to gravity has got 9.8 value, or the velocity of the light has got this value. It is not something like this. These values which the figures which I'm quoting, they keep on changing basically, depending upon the consumption, depending upon the government subsidy, depending upon the industry which are jumping in and all that. Okay, so the figure is not important. The only thing is the relativeness is important. How much, where the major fraction of the water is going into which area for applications. Okay, so now coming down to the water. Now water is basically more. I mean, we need water basically for our survival. Okay, and you can live for a certain hours only. वाटर का ये है कि वाटर आपको कुछ घंटों के बिना आप सर्वाइव कर सकते हैं, लेकिन उससे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं. जैसे हवा है, थोड़ी देर के लिए के बाद में अगर आपको हवा नहीं मिली तो आप मर जाएंगे. पानी कुछ घंटों के लिए. सो दैट इज व्हाई वाटर इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट फीचर. ओके, Now, this water is basically, again, I mean, water has got a very remarkable property. I said just now, water has got three phases. In the same way, water has got a remarkable property, and it is due to this remarkable property only Earth has got this life. We as a human beings, or we as a civilization, we as a animal population are surviving in this planet Earth just because of the remarkable properties of water. And there has been a couple of interesting research work. If you go on the site, Rustam Roy is a person of in India who did one of the excellent research work doing the statement in Penn State. Basically, he died, I mean, around 10 years back, a contender for Nobel Prize. He has done an excellent experiment about water, which statement which I posed here. Another thing is water has got an interesting property that, I mean, depending upon a mood, you can, I mean, water changes its chemical structure, I mean, physical structure also. That is what the people have done in the south. That is why I put it on statement that water has got a remarkable property to help us to live in this planet Earth. And another anomalous property of water is 0 to 4 degree, where it supports the aquatic life. यानी ऊपर में बर्फ जमी रहेगी, नीचे के अंदर में पानी रहेगा, और सारे के सारे समुद्री जीव जो है, aquatic animals, वो आराम से रहते हैं. दूसरा है वाटर के अंदर में ऑक्सीजन की कैपेसिटी, जिसको वो ऑक्सीजन जो है, जितने हमारे जो पानी के अंदर रहने वाले जीव जंतु है, वो पानी के अंदर में जो ऑक्सीजन है उससे वो लेते हैं. ऑफ कोर्स देयर आर सम मैमल्स एंड ऑल दैट, जैसे वेल्स वगैरह है, डॉल्फिन्स वगैरह है, इनमें अंदर में वो क्षमता नहीं है, उनके अंदर में बायोलॉजिकल इक्विपमेंट नहीं है, कंपोनेंट नहीं है उनके शरीर में कि वो पानी से ऑक्सीजन ले, इसलिए बाहर आके ऑक्सीजन लेते रहते हैं. ओके, देन कमिंग डाउन टू वाटर, बेसिकली अदर थिंग्स व्हिच आर बेसिकली इंपॉर्टेंट कंपोनेंट ऑफ दिस वाटर इज बेसिकली, अभी आप देखोगे कि वाटर के लिए सबसे ज्यादा लड़ाई होने वाली. कॉफी अनन साहब ने कहा था अबाउट वर्ल्ड वॉर 3, बेसिकली टू टॉप वन ऑफ द साइंटिस्ट सेड दैट अगर तीसरा विश्व युद्ध होता है या थर्ड वर्ल्ड वॉर होता है, तो अल्बर्ट आइंस्टाइन साहब ने कहा था कि वो लकड़ियों से होगा. I mean, जो ट्रेडिशनल फॉर्म ऑफ ह्यूमन बींग्स की जैसे थे, लकड़ी और इससे ये होगा करके. बट कॉफी अनन, I mean, that was the UNO president, he said if ever the third world war takes place, it will be for the water resources only. So much of scarcity of water is there. That was the Kofi Annan statement, basically. That is what I put it down. And now when we have to basically, the reason for this water scarcity is because of basically, if you look at that, is due to human population. I mean, I don't have to talk about it. The way human population is expanding, जो जगह एकदम कोई यूज नहीं करने वाला रखता, आप देखोगे वहां नई नई फ्लैट स्कीम आ जा रही, नई नई इंडस्ट्रियल बेसिस आ रहे हैं, कोई ना कोई डेवलपमेंट आ जा रहा है. दूसरा है ओवर यूटिलाइजेशन ऑफ नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज. तीसरा है पॉल्यूशन ऑफ द सर्फेसेस एंड ग्राउंड वाटर. ये पॉल्यूशन मतलब वॉट एवर इंडस्ट्रियल वेस्ट इज देयर, वाटर हैज बीन टेकन एज ए मीडियम बेसिकली टू डिस्पोज ऑफ द वेस्ट, एनी इंडस्ट्रियल वेस्ट और केमिकल्स. अगर आप वेस्टर्न यूपी साइड वगैरह में जाओगे या नोएडा वगैरह में जाओगे, वहां के कभी बोरिंग किया जाता है तो पता चलता कि पानी जो है वो इट इज नॉट कमिंग आउट इन नेचुरल फॉर्म. इट हैज गॉट सम डिफरेंट सॉर्ट ऑफ ए कलर और बदबू मार रहा है इस तरह का, जस्ट बिकॉज द केमिकल्स, हार्मफुल केमिकल्स, आफ्टर द प्रोसेसिंग वन हैज बीन स्ट्रेट अवे पुट इट डाउन or thrown away or given into the water and all that. Okay, next slide please, madam. Now just a minute. Now if you look at the types of the water, again one question I want to pose is, we have got different types of water. I mean, and the categories of the water, जब मैं आपकी उम्र का था तब एक ही वाटर बोला जाता था, वो था मिनरल वाटर. अभी आप वाटर की प्रकार देखोगे तो वाटर के प्रकार में है, आपके पास में है डिस्टिल वाटर. आई होप एवरीबडी नोज इट आउट व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय डिस्टिल वाटर. Then you have deionized water. This is another word which many of the people who are coming out from science, biological, zoological group, or computer group, they know that what is that deionized water. Deionized water is that water जिसमें से हम पूरे के पूरे आयंस निकाल देते हैं. यानी जो भी हमारे फार्मेसी की इंडस्ट्री में या चिप बनाने के, कंप्यूटर चिप्स है, जो भी कंप्यूटर के हार्डवेयर वगैरह बनाने के लिए जो पानी यूज किया जाता है एज ए मीडियम, दैट इज deionized water. Then another water which you use is mineral water. Mineral water is nothing but there are certain regions in साउथ अफ्रीका में है, या राजगीर करके यूपी में, बिहार में एक जगह है, इस तरह की, या माउंटेन्स वगैरह का, या उत्तराखंड वगैरह में है जहाँ का पानी हिमालय के पास का सबसे ज्यादा, वो जो पानी जो है गंगा जी का, उसको अपन मिनरल वाटर बोलते हैं. और कुछ कुछ जगह में जो ऑस्ट्रेलिया वगैरह में स्प्रिंग्स है जो कि फेमस है, कि उनको स्प्रिंग वाटर्स बोलते हैं. तो इस तरह से मिनरल वाटर जो है वहाँ के जो मिनरल्स उस पर्टिकुलर रीजन के पानी के अंदर में, वो जो स्टेट ऑफ ए कलेक्शन है, नेचुरल कलेक्शन जो है, उसको मिनरल वाटर कहा जाता है. जो झरने का पानी साउथ अफ्रीका वगैरह की जो झरने से या वाटरफॉल से है, दे आर कॉल्ड स्प्रिंग वाटर्स. एंड देन यू हैव गॉट, आई मीन व्हाट वी कॉल आरओ वाटर. नाउ आरओ वाटर तो हमारे जैसे गांव में, जहाँ गांव में मैं रहता हूँ, वहाँ 5 रुपए में हमको पूरी की पूरी 20 लीटर की कैन मिल जाती है. दैट इज नथिंग बट रिवर्स ऑस्मोसिस प्रोसेस बेसिकली, व्हिच इज व्हाटएवर वाटर यू फाइंड बेसिकली चीपली अवेलेबल, That is RO water basically. Of course, उसके साथ में बोला जाता है कि they got a 3-layer UV layer and all that. Okay, then the important component through this environment class which I want to talk about is you got a gray water and black water. Now, this is a word which is always discussed in environment classes or all big people. Now, gray water is that water which is not used in a latrine and all that. That is a water which is used after cleaning clothes, after cleaning vegetables and all that. That is gray water based basically. And black water is the toilet water which we use after extraction and which includes our urine and all that. That is called a black water. Now, people have developed a technology to make this gray water and a black water to fit for human consumption, basically. In fact, Bill Gates also demonstrated it out that black water can be made fit for drinkable, and he has demonstrated and shown a picture also that he's drinking a water coming out from black water. So these are the various categories of the or a technical classification of the water which I have shown in my slide, namely RO water, deionized water, distilled water, mineral water, spring water, then soda water, gray water, and a black water. After this is basically one of the things which is important for you is deionized water, gray water, and a black water. Next slide, please. Now, coming down to this is the philosophy. I mean, why water is? I put it down so that you should drink plenty of the water because that is good for us. Water is basically acting as a media, the way it acts as a chemical media for reactions to take place in chemical processes in nature. The same thing it happens in our body. So that is why you should drink plenty of the water. That is a precautionary medical suggestions I'm putting down. Psychology says that if you're angry, you drink water immediately क्योंकि पानी अगर आपके मुंह के अंदर रहेगा तो आप किसी को गाली गलौज नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि जैसे आप गाली गलौज करेंगे तो पूरा का पूरा फवारा बन के बाहर निकलेगा and you will create a bad impact basically. That is why psychology say कि आप अगर कभी आप गुस्सा करते तो आपने पानी पीना चाहिए करके. And then another some of the technologies. अब साइंस के साथ में और टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ में सबसे बड़ी दिक्कत ये है कि हम ह्यूमन बींग्स में एक बड़ा ईगो है. वी आर नॉट एक्सेप्टिंग आवर डिफेक्ट. वी आर नॉट एक्सेप्टिंग दैट यस वी आर वर्नेबल. Rather than we are putting down, we are bringing out new technologies. So people are devising out new technologies. यानी वाटर वेपर्स जो हमारे एटमॉस्फेयर में है उसको भी उससे हम पानी प्रोड्यूस कर पा रहे हैं. मैंने ये अपने आंखों से देखा है. हैदराबाद की कंपनी है जो मैं जब गुजरात घूमने गया था तो वहां पे मैंने शहर में मैंने देखा कि वाटर वेपर से दे वर एबल टू कलेक्ट आउट वाटर बेसिकली. सो दिस इज वन ऑफ द टेक्नोलॉजी विच आई हैव सीन. देन सॉल्ट वाटर से पानी बनाने का मोदी जी ने भी अपना गुजरात में दिखाया था. इवन आर्मी वगैरह वाले यूज करते, शिप वाले भी यूज करते हैं कि टू कन्वर्ट फ्रॉम टू गेट ए ड्रिंकेबल वाटर फ्रॉम ए सॉल्ट वाटर. रावण के बारे में भी कहा जाता है कि रावण न्यू दिस. रावण वन ऑफ द ग्रेटेस्ट कैरेक्टर इन ऑफ रामायण had he was needing 3 technologies. One of them was prominent was that he knew the technology how to convert salt water or sea water into water basically. Okay, then another thing, I mean, since water scarcity is so much that every year जो बोरिंग का जो पानी है, बोरिंग का जो लेवल है, जो लोग गांव खेड़े में रहते हैं या जहाँ पे जिनके पास में म्यूनिसिपलिटी की सप्लाई नहीं है वो बोरिंग करा के रखे होंगे. एवरी ईयर दिस लेवल इज इंक्रीजिंग. यानी जहाँ आपको 200 फीट में पानी मिलता था वो अगले साल हो सकता है 250 फीट में जाए, 300 फीट में जाए. बिकॉज द पीपल आर मोर पीपल आर मेकिंग बोर्स इन द लैंड एंड टैपिंग दिस वाटर रिसोर्सेज. So now that is why Government of India and municipal corporations are introducing rainwater harvesting as one of the essential component in city building. Bangalore में एक आदमी है इसरो का scientist. He is not at all using water supply and electricity, and he has made a beautiful house derived from this one. Manipur, some of the villages in Manipur also they are trapping this rainwater harvesting. They have used drums and all that to collect this water for the uses and all that. In fact, if you will be very happy to know, last year in this environmental inauguration, we had Vinay Limay ji from Nagpur. He lives in Davinagar. He is an expert in rainwater harvesting. He has got a consultancy to tap this rainwater for drinkable purpose. Normally rainwater harvesting का जो ये होता है कि जो भी रूफ में पानी रहता है उसको आप सीधा का सीधा गार्डनिंग या अदर टॉयलेट वगैरह के पर्पस के लिए आप यूज कर सकते हैं. लेकिन he has developed that technology to make it out. That if you go to the YouTube channel or Facebook and all that, rainwater harvesting a different application for human consumption, so you can find it out. And you'll be very surprised and happy to know that rainwater harvesting component is an essential component for college accreditation. That the college accreditation has got a rainwater facilities or not. This is one of the concepts which is there in the criteria of evaluation. What extra things our colleges has got. So this is one of the thing which is there. In fact, So you should know about rainwater harvesting and all that, what is there. And another, this is for the city life. There where the rain harvesting for campuses, for colleges, for buildings, for flat schemes, for corporate houses, for commercial building has come on. And for the villages, Modi ji has given a drip irrigation technology. He gave a very catchy slogan, more drop per crop. That was the catchy word he gave out. अब इसमें ड्रिप वाटर इरिगेशन में कि 80% पानी जो है वेस्टेज नहीं होता, क्योंकि जैसे अपन सलाइन लगाते हैं बेटा, वैसा जो है ड्रिप वाटर इरिगेशन में क्या है कि जो पानी जो है वो सीधा उस जड़ों को देता है पानी. सो दैट मीन्स एनी conventional process of evaporation and loss of water to the atmosphere or whatever which is being given supplied to a plant in a bulk form is avoided. So जितना पानी एक पेड़ को चाहिए उतना ही पानी हम दे रहे हैं. That is what the simplest concept of drip water irrigation is concerned. This technology was being developed by Israel, because Israel is a country which has got a water scarcity problem. So they have developed all this technology for agriculture and for their uses, so that they can have maximum conventional utilization of the water. Okay. Then I talk about is the water is being basically retained, circulated by trees and forests. That is why पर्यावरण के साथ में है कि आपको पेड़ बहुत लगाना है. आपको इनफैक्ट देयर इज दैट every year you should plant or you should donate trees, you should nurture trees, just because water has got a capacity, trees have got a capacity to retain this water in a good form. That is one thing. And the natural humus soil, जो 4 इंच की जो ह्यूमस सॉइल है बेसिकली जो सपोर्ट करती है हमारी वेजिटेशन को, वो फॉरेस्ट और ये ट्री से पकड़ के रखते हैं. यानी किसी ने यूट्यूब में एक लेक्चर दिया था कि अगर बेरेलैंड में अगर पानी जो आता है उसको अगर अपन ड्रॉप करिए, आप लोग भी एक्सपेरिमेंट करके देख सकते हैं, तो जो पानी जो है जब वो जमीन में से निकलता तो वो साथ में अच्छी चीजें जमीन की भी लेके जाता है. लेकिन अगर उसी जमीन पर अगर पेड़ पौधे लगे रहे और पानी आ रहा है और पानी जो ड्रेन आउट हो रहा है, तो एक क्लीन वाटर विल बी अवेलेबल टू यू. दैट इज व्हाट इज यूट्यूब में मैंने ये एक पिक्चर देखा है बेसिकली. So that is why this, I mean, forest is there. That is very much, this act as a cushioning effect for restoring, or it act as a tank for restoring this water basically. Then, I mean, this is all about the present uses. Now coming on to space technology, जितने भी हमारे स्पेस मिशन होते हैं तो सबसे पहले खोजते हैं पानी. इंडिया से भी इसरो का जो मिशन मून में गया तो उसने ऐलान किया था कि यस, मून में भी पानी की कहीं ना कहीं हमको छींटे या सोर्सेस मिले. इवन अभी जो मार्स में भी जा रहे हैं तो पीपल आर ट्राइंग टू सर्च, इज द वाटर अवेलेबल देयर. Because if water is available, that means the basic facility for human, for making fit for human staying of human civilization in Mars, or planting human civilization in Mars can be possible, and water will be that essential component. So water, सबसे पहले water ही खोजते, चाहे वो space हो चाहे कहीं भी, क्योंकि उसके बिना हमारा जीवन नहीं है. Okay, this is what I am trying to put it down. Now, interesting part is this: if water dries, our whole human civilization has gone. जितनी भी पुरानी अगर आप history पढ़ोगे, Indus Valley civilization, Nile Valley civilization, the probable reason for them is the river has died. नदी का मृत्यु हो गया, civilization खत्म हो गई, because it was the water which was irrigating their lands, it was the water which was running the society, it was the water or the river which was used as a transportation by the use of the boats. The water, the components were the finished products of art and architect, where artisans were transferred from one region to another. So this was one of the basic components. That is why we had earlier river, all civilization, past civilization will all river based. Next slide, please, ma'am. Now coming down to food, another component, major component is food. This is all about water. I try to make you as far as possible the essential information with respect to the latest things available all around the world. I try to present you. I also, like a student, study all these things because we are all part of a nature basically, so we should know about environment. So that is why I tried to give you whatever essential thing in a capsule form. Now coming down to food, this food is another important component, because food in a way it gives us energy basically. If you look at the body, basically body takes food and then it makes out glucose and glucogen and all that, and we survive basically. Okay, now this food basically, our whole civilization from nut gatherer to agriculturist, that has been a massive journey basically. From junglis, we became civilized person, and now we are slowly becoming a global citizen. And then the food and agriculture organization, they have given a definition of sustainable agriculture. That means in sustainable agriculture means all the components which take parts or which supports, nourishes agriculture, they should be preserved, they should not be disturbed, they should be kept intact. It is something like an ideal definition. Now, what farmers of today doing? They are following a monoculture. Monoculture means अगर वो धान की खेती तो सिर्फ धान ही लगाएंगे. गेहूं की खेती है तो गेहूं ही लगाएंगे, यानी विंटर क्रॉप जिसको बोलते हैं या समर क्रॉप बोलते हैं, वो वही लगाएंगे। वेरेस वी नीड, उससे क्या हो रहा है बेटा कि बहुत सारे जो है कीड़े मकोड़े, अभी रिसेंटली हमारे गांव के तरफ में टिड्डी दल का अटैक हुआ था, जिसके कारण हमारे यहाँ पे हमारे खेत वगैरह में चावल का उतने पैदावार हुई नहीं, या जो भी चावल पैदा हुआ वो सभी घटिया किस्म का हुआ, जस्ट बिकॉज टिड्डी दल का जो राजस्थान से आया उसने पूरा का पूरा अटैक कर दिया। अगर वही मल्टी क्रॉपिंग होता, जिसको इंटीग्रेटेड पेस्ट सिस्टम बोलते हैं, यानी धान की खेती के साथ में दूसरे लेयर में कोई दूसरा प्रोडक्ट होता, तो उन टिड्डी दल को रोका जाता, वो कंफ्यूज हो जाते बेसिकली। सो दिस इज व्हाट दी इंटीग्रेटेड पेस्ट मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम का कॉन्सेप्ट है। इंडिया की कहानी ऐसे कि इंडिया गरीबी के काल में, जब मेरे ग्रैंड फादर वगैरह थे, तब बहुत ही विषम स्थिति थी, गेहूं चावल वगैरह मिलता नहीं थी, बिकॉज रेन वाटर वाज देयर, वी हैड ए वेरी surplus problem of food production, all that. But due to green revolution, that was MS Swaminathan, could achieve self-sufficiency food production basically. So that whole concept was called green revolution. उसका एक नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट ये पड़ा कि पंजाब और हरियाणा और वेस्टर्न यूपी की जो जमीनें हैं वो बहुत ही ज्यादा पेस्टिसाइड और फर्टिलाइजर के कारण उसकी जो सीड्स, उनके जो एग्रीकल्चर प्रोडक्ट्स है, उसमें कैंसर ओरिएंटेड प्रोडक्ट से बीमारी पैदा करने वाले उनके प्रोडक्ट उसमें आ गए हैं बेसिकली, वो एक अलग भाग है। बट ड्यू टू विच अवर प्रोडक्शन हैज इंक्रीज ट्रेमेंडसली। And then another is, similar to this, we had a white revolution that was for a milk that was being given by Varghese Kurian. That was in Gujarat, Kheda district में सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल की कृपा से। And due to which आज आप देखोगे कि घर में, आपके घर में जो है दूध वाला जो आता है, सीधा सीधा पैकेट फॉर्म में आता है। मेरे टीचर ने एक बार हमें कहानी सुनाई थी कि अमेरिका में किसी बच्चे से पूछे कि दूध वाला दूध कौन देता है, तो मिल्क मैन गिव्स द दूध। तो अभी हो सकता है कि आप लोग उनके बच्चे से पूछे कि दूध वाला कौन देता है, तो कोई यादव जी या कोई दूध वाला ना देके हल्दीराम दूध देके जाता है, या हल्दीराम का पोष दूध देके आता है। दैट इज व्हाट द कॉन्सेप्ट, मैकेनाइज्ड ट्रांसपोर्टेशन ऑफ द थिंग हैज टेकन प्लेस। देन ब्लू रेवोल्यूशन इज फॉर ऑल seafoods and all that, fisheries and all that. So these are the three components basically which I want to talk, which has made our India self-reliant. And slowly अगर आप नितिन गडकरी के YouTube चैनल में जाओगे, उन्होंने फूड प्रोडक्शंस के बारे में बोला कि हमारे पास में भी स्टोरिंग जो इतना स्टोर किया हुआ है, चावल, गेहूं, ऑयल्स और दाल में थोड़ा सी प्रॉब्लम है। अदरवाइज वी आर टोटली सेल्फ सफिशिएंट एज फार एज फूड प्रोडक्शन इज कंसर्न। ओके, नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज। अब इस फूड प्रोडक्शंस के बारे में, जो प्रेजेंट फूड अपन जो खा रहे बेटा, it has got many problems. Since we are going for, and if you look at this, many countries को खाने को नहीं है बेटा, और डिस्पैरिटी बहुत ज्यादा है। पहले अभी आप देखोगे बहुत सारे स्लाइड्स में देखते हैं आप टीवी में कि बहुत सारा वेस्टेजेस होता है, दिखाते कितना अभी हमारे यहाँ पे हिंदुस्तान में खाने पीने के लिए कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, आप यू कैन हैव अ वेराइटी। और आप देखोगे कि दिल से फूड चैनल्स इतने सारे हैं कि आप देखोगे क्या क्या नहीं दिखाते। ओके, चाइना के बारे में दूसरा एग्जांपल दूंगा कि चाइना में के बारे में कहा जाता है कि जहाँ पे सिर्फ 4 पैर वाला कोई भी चीज है, लकड़ी बेंच को छोड़ के वो कोई भी चीज खा लेंगे करके, ये चाइना के बारे में कहा जाता है। तो वहां पे सोचिए खाने पीने के बारे में कितनी लानत पड़ी है। और चाइना ने तो इतनी टेक्नोलॉजी, इसराइल के साथ में, सिंगापुर के साथ में, उसने स्टेम टेक्नोलॉजी से आर्टिफिशियल वे में मीट प्रोडक्शन की भी अपनी टेक्नोलॉजी इजाद कर ली, बिकॉज दे आर नॉट एबल टू support their human population, so much big size in their human population is there, so he is trying to go through an artificial route. अब उसके बाद में और एक चीज मैंने यहाँ पे लिखा है कि हमारे जो जेनेटिक डाइवर्सिटी है वो अराउंड 50,000 वेराइटीज है हमारे जो प्लांट्स की है, और उसमें से 15 वेराइटीज हम लोग यूज करते हैं बेसिकली। और इसका एक अंडरलाइन स्टेटमेंट बॉटनी वालों के जो रिसर्चर्स के मैंने प्रोग्राम्स मैंने कुछ अटेंड किया, उसमें बता कि अभी हमें कभी भी नया उन्नत किस्म का कोई भी चीज हमको डेवलप करना पड़ता है तो हम उसकी जंगली वेराइटी से ही रिसर्चिंग करते हैं बेटा। ये एक बड़ी अजीब खूबी बात है कि एबोरिजिन्स की तरफ भी हमको देखना पड़ता है व्हेनेवर वी वांट ए न्यू थिंग्स। और इसमें और एक डाटा मैंने डाला कि 5 to 7 million hectares of a land basically is degrading, that is becoming unfit for agriculture basically। अब इसके साथ में नई नई टेक्नोलॉजी जो आई है, नेक्स्ट स्लाइड मैडम, इसके साथ में नई नई जो टेक्नोलॉजी आई है वो है, यू कैन सी बेसिकली दैट जीएम वेराइटीज इज देयर। जीएम वेराइटीज ने जो है ये अमेरिका मल्टीनेशनल कॉर्पोरेशन, दे वांट दैट द पीपल शुड नॉट डिपेंड ऑन दिस एग्रीकल्चरिस्ट फार्मर्स एंड ऑल दैट, सो दे हैव इंट्रोड्यूस दिस टर्मिनेटर वेराइटी। टर्मिनेटर वेराइटी की खूबी ऐसी कि सिर्फ पैदा करेगा, इट डजंट हैव ए, यू कांट यूज देयर सीड्स बेसिकली, वो सीड ही नहीं पैदा करता, यानी आप उगाओ प्रोडक्शन पैदा करो, देन अगेन यू हैव टू परचेज द सीड फ्रॉम देम। That is what the terminal variety came into the market. Now there is another collection of a GM plant, seed plant. These are all, the storing, how the ways to restore the traditional seeds and all that. There are people who are working on this in Canada or Greenland. There are some places where all the good varieties of they have put it down inside the below this land and all of that, so that the crop their seeds are intact basically. देन एक जमाना था जब हमारे यहाँ पे खाने के लिए नहीं था, तो आपने एक पीली कलर की घास कभी कभी पेड़ के ऊपर में देखी होगी, वायर जैसी, उसको कांग्रेस ग्रास कहते हैं, जो कि जब मैं आपकी उम्र का था तो PL480 के नाम का गेहूं अमेरिका से इंपोर्ट किया गया था। वो गेहूं इतना रद्दी था कि जिसके कारण लोगों को बहुत सारी बीमारी हुई थी, और उस PL480 के गेहूं को जब लोगों ने किसान लोगों ने लगाया तो कांग्रेस ग्रास करके पैदा हुई थी, क्योंकि कांग्रेस के रीजन में हुई थी। सो दैट इज समथिंग लाइक ए यू कैन से पैरासाइट बेसिकली, जो कि दूसरे पैरासाइट का मतलब होता है जो खुद न पका के दूसरे का पका पका खाना खाए बेसिकली, उसको पैरासाइट बोलते। तो कांग्रेस ग्रास उसी टाइप की है। तो अभी यहाँ नागपुर वगैरह में वेजिटेशन नहीं तो गांव खेड़े में जाओगे तो कांग्रेस ग्रास आपको दिखेगी। दैट इज अ वर्ड आई पुट इट डाउन कि देखो बाहर वाले जो है, देयर इज नथिंग लाइक फ्री कॉन्सेप्ट। बाहर वाला कोई भी चीज हमें देता है उसके पीछे कुछ न कुछ कचरा डाल के देता है ताकि हम लोग हमारी लाइफ जो है मिजरेबल रहे। तो ये मैंने डालने की कोशिश की है। उसके बाद में अनदर for agriculture, for food production, you have got natural farming, organic farming, terrace farming. These are all, you can say, one of the catchy words. Catchy word means all the people who are well-to-do, who are doing extremely, which are, fortunately all you people will be belonging. क्योंकि लाइफ में हेल्थ इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट। डॉक्टर का बिल सबसे खतरनाक होता है, यानी ना कोई भी डॉक्टर के पास जाओ तो 500 रुपया तो उसकी कंसल्टेंसी फी रहती है, और बाकी 1-2 हजार रुपए डायग्नोसिस के, और बाकी यानी 4-5 हजार का बिल चुना लगता है। इसलिए पीपल लोगों ने नेचुरल फार्मिंग की तरफ में, टेरेस फार्मिंग की तरफ में, टेरेस गार्डनिंग यानी आपके टेरेस में कुंडियों में धनिया पत्ती के पेड़, पालक के पेड़, मेथी के पेड़, या इस तरह के बैगन के पेड़, हरी मिर्ची के पेड़, टमाटो के पेड़, इस तरह के लगा रहे हैं। और उसमें कोई केमिकल्स नहीं, यानी शेन खाद बोलो या वर्मी कंपोस्ट डाल के दे हैव स्टार्टेड डूइंग इट आउट, क्योंकि कंजम्पशन ज्यादा है नहीं। आजकल न्यूक्लियर फैमिली है, सो 2 टमाटर में, 2 बैगन में, 2 आलू में जिंदगी गुजर सकती है करके। So they are doing it out, and Bangalore is one of the place where the people have got their own clubs basically, where they are forming terrace gardens and all that. अब इस food production के ऊपर में, I mean, before I move up to the next slide, hydroponics has come out very profoundly. If you go for a rocket skill के website में आप जाओगे, they training out for hydroponics. Hydroponics का मतलब हुआ कि without taking any help of natural through pipes and through an artificial distribution, you are able to produce cabbages, ल्यूटिल्स एंड ऑल दैट, टमाटोस, ऑल जितनी भी हमारे खाने वाली जो चीजें हैं वो आप हाइड्रोपोनिक्स के से आप पैदा कर सकते हैं बेसिकली। एंड मेनी ऑफ द कॉर्पोरेट हाउसेस हैव स्टार्टेड इंटीग्रेटिंग अनदर कांसेप्ट व्हिच हैज कम आउट फॉर प्रोडक्शन इज कॉल्ड वर्टिकल गार्डनिंग। यानी आप अपने घर में अपने खाने के लिए वर्टिकल गार्डनिंग कर सकते हैं। ये एक जैसा हमारा फ्लैट स्कीम होता है वैसा गार्डनिंग में ही फार्मिंग का एक स्कीम आया। सो दीज आर द 2 टेक्नोलॉजिकल ओरिएंटेड व्हिच हैज कम, which are catering for food production in an artificial one. One is hydroponics, another is vertical gardening. धीरूभाई अंबानी का जो घर है वो वर्टिकल गार्डनिंग से, जो बॉम्बे में जो वन ऑफ द फेमस उसका जो घर है 1000 करोड़ या 1100 करोड़ का, उसमें वर्टिकल गार्डनिंग से प्लांट लगे हुए हैं। और इस कॉन्सेप्ट को भी देने वाला आदमी जो था वो इंडियन ही है, बेसिकली सिविल इंजीनियर, ही इज इन यूएस, ही गिव आउट दिस कॉन्सेप्ट, एंड दिस कॉन्सेप्ट यू विल बी सीइंग इन योर ओन लाइफ, वर्टिकल गार्डनिंग एंड ऑल दैट, सो दैट द प्रॉपर फूड इन प्रॉपर essential nutrients is available to you. Okay, next slide, madam. Next slide, madam. And now I'll talk about energy resources. As far as this was the what food basically, उसमें का एक सेंटेंस मैंने आपको, you should have a very good healthy habits, जो एक फूड चेन का जो ये है कि नेचुरल इतना खाना चाहिए, इतना दाल खाना चाहिए, इतनी सब्जी खाना चाहिए, इतना, वो एक रेशियो को पालन करना बहुत जरूरी है। क्योंकि 40 के बाद में आजकल तो खैर हर बीमारियों का इम्पैक्ट आप कम एज में देख रहे, बीपी, शुगर एंड हार्ट की बेसिकली, नहीं तो नॉर्मली 50 के बाद में जो है हमारा वीयर एंड टीयर बीमारी का जो असर है, या वट एवर बैड हैबिट्स यू हैड एज फार एज फूड, ईटिंग एंड स्लीपिंग यू हैड, relaxing you had, that is visible from 50 onwards basically. So you should follow that food pyramid chain basically. कभी कभार महीने में एक आध बार चाइनीज फाइनीज खा लिए वो अलग बात है, that is a different part, so that body gets a time to restore to its own natural form. But you should follow a good healthy habits. That is what an underlying statement for a food as an energy or as a natural resource, because it will lessen down your doctor bills. And to energy resources, in the energy resources section, I'll say out that it is the thing which decide us. Now, if you look at the physics definition, energy is basically a capacity to do work. Now, again, our own civilization, basically, our whole journey, once civilization has gone through a route of a river, the mankind progress has been through these energy routes. I mean, if you look as man becomes civilized, as we started living in society, man you has used the lower caste, lower level people, lower intelligent people basically as manual laborers. Then he has domesticated animals, which were not very ferocious, like horses, donkeys, and cows and all that, bullocks and all that. And then he have tapped them for various purposes. But with the coming of an industrial revolution, the coal was the first material which was used for industrial revolution basically, and it made out we had steams and generators, basically steam engine and generator. They were the essential component of all industrial processes basically. And this coal basically, I mean, then coal was being replaced by an oil basically, and then now from oil we are now shifting to solar energy. This is the way sequencing going on. Now, this coal, oil, they are basically coming on down to be non-renewable sources. If you look at the energy sources, you've got three different categories of the energy resources. Basically, non-renewable energy sources, that means coal, oil, these all comes out as a non-renewable. Non-renewable means you can't renew them out. You can't, once they have been used off, they can't be produced. Because planet Earth has taken billions of years to produce it out them, to make them out for us basically, and they have been deep inside the very core of the earth basically. Another category is renewable sources. Renewable sources means they are available, like solar energy is renewable sources, wind energy is another renewable sources, the tidal energy is one of the renewable sources, geothermal energy, that is one of the renewable sources, photovoltaic cells, I mean, that is solar energy, that is another. Then the third component about the energy sources is nuclear energy. Now this nuclear energy, around only 2% of the nuclear energy we are using it out, and this is a very risky proportion. I mean, though it's the whole technology is very easy to look, that you are taking out a 1 kg of radioactive material, that is uranium U-235, and then I mean the production of energy from this 1 kg of uranium U-235 is around 3,000 tons of kilo. That means so much of equivalency, mass equivalency is available. But the whole technological process, whole disposing of the raw material byproducts or the waste product of is very, very risky. Means they are radioactive. Radioactive means they disturb our genetic combinations. We may become mad, we may don't have one of the eyes, our legs may be crooked, we become a crooked and all that. This sort of a, I mean, this radiation effects are playing out havoc with our normal genetic structure or configuration, I'll say it out. So that is why it is risky. Some of the countries are, I mean, avoiding nuclear. We have got only 2% of our energy production. Coming down to, I mean, the energy production is hydrothermal is one of the prominent one, where the gradient of the water is basically converted into electricity, and the electricity which is again we have produced, that is an AC electricity basically. I mean, I'm just, because we are now running out with 4:30, I won't talk much about it basically. I'll talk hydro energy is one of them. Then another, sun is one of the greatest producer of energy for us. And sun's production of energy is so much that in an hour, whatever energy it gives basically, that whole energy, whatever energy we have, that much of energy is radiated by sun in 1 hour. The only thing is required is tapping it out and using it in a proper shape basically. And this energy, the sun energy is one of the prominent one. That is why Gayatri ka mantra hai, and that is why everywhere, every civilization in some of the form, the river-based civilization were worshipping sun, because sun is the activator basically for a reaction for production of the food. That is what photosynthesis reaction is concerned. I mean, through sun energy only this, I mean, water and then carbon dioxide gets converted into glucose, and then glucose gets converted into cellulose. And these all things, I mean, they become fit for various form of the production, for uses for the animals. Then herbivorous animals, I mean, the vegetable lovers animals, they eat it out. Then they have been eaten by carnivorous and all that. They all eat, I mean, they are all, I mean, meat lover animals. That way, the whole sequence, when they die, then again it is coming down to manure, they are breaking down out. So, sun is the essential component. Sun is the basically energy provider, controlling or running into all biological cycles. I mean, biocycles, whether it is food cycle, whether it is hydrological cycles, and all this sort of a cycle. So sun is one of the other, people are trapping out this, I mean, solar energy for various forms. In fact, in 1950s, we were the leader in sun harvesting for the sun and all that, but due to bad government policy, we avoided it. Now sun is again getting, I mean, one of the solar energy is gaining one of the more prominent place for research, because every year you can see, abhi petrol ka daam 100 rupees ho jayega, so you can know out the reason. So this sun, through photovoltaic cells and all that, is getting into research, getting into our this our lifestyle, because the solar energy is available plenty in a latitude or longitude of Earth and in India like region, so we can tap it at more. That is one. Another is there is a direct conversion from sunlight to energy, electricity basically, and there is no mechanical wear and tear is involved. So that means the then the maintenance is very less as far as the photovoltaic cells are concerned. And silicon is a material at present we are using, but every year you'll find the सोलर पैनल दैट इज सोलर मॉड्यूल भी कॉस्ट बिग जो ग्लास टाइप की जो शीट होती है उसके अंदर में छोटे छोटे सेल्स होते हैं सिलिकॉन सेल्स होते हैं बेसिकली और उनका कॉम्बिनेशन इज कॉल्ड सोलर मॉड्यूल्स बेसिकली दैट मॉड्यूल्स कॉस्ट इज कमिंग डाउन बेसिकली and another material I mean perovskite material cadmium sulfide material or compound semiconductor materials are basically used for this one apart from silicon had a very less efficiency means conversion of the sunlight to a proper electricity shape. This is one thing. Another thing is that it doesn't have wear and tear, so the maintenance is very less. The third thing is that government of India is encouraging now rainwater harvesting like things, solar cells, solar installation of solar panel is very much into picture. All big multinational, even Adani जो है, अदानी का पूरा जो घर है, उसका जो पूरा इंडस्ट्रियल एस्टेब्लिशमेंट गुजरात में, वो पूरा का पूरा सोलर पावर्ड. He is not taking any power from Gujarat Electricity Board. Another thing is slightly one disadvantage with solar cell is that when sun is not there, I mean you can't produce electricity, so that means you need extra battery supply and all that to store that electricity or store that electric charges and all that. And the third thing which I want to say, if you are installed a solar panel in your houses and all that, I mean you can give back that electricity to the Maharashtra Electricity Board and all that. This is what, and then they reduce out the charges, they minus out this much of the electricity per unit kilowatt you are given back to Maharashtra Electricity Board. So that means it is reduced from the your monthly charges and all that. And I want to say an underlying statement I want to make is that our college do have this solar power installation in our college. And last year we did an exercises in Swachhata Pakhwada. We are shown to the people as well. So if you get an opportunity, you can find it out. There is a limitation for power generation through solar power routes and all that. As far as commercial establishment is concerned, that is a government constitutional law. So this is about solar power. Then we have got other is wind power. Suzlon was a company which was, if you go to the coastal region, particularly वो भी मैंने गुजरात में देखा, basically भावनगर से लेकर आपका और दूसरा रामेश्वरम वाले एरिया में जब मैं गया था तो वहां पे मैंने देखा कोस्टल एरियाज में गुजरात के और तमिलनाडु के ये दोनों एरिया मैंने घुमाए. वहां पे मैंने देखा कि बहुत बड़े बड़े लंबे आकर के विंड टर्बाइंस थे बेसिकली. और सिंस कोस्टल एरिया में समुद्री हवा के कारण ये टर्बाइंस आराम से चलती है, so we can generate out a power. But the disadvantage with the power production is that they can be used only as a standby supply. You can't be solely dependent on them. Just because जब हवा चलेगी तभी आपको पंखे घूमेंगे और पंखे जब घूमेंगे तभी बिजली पैदा होगी. But they are very much installed. अभी कल ही recently the new technology has come out. Instead of big wing turbines basically, people have come up with small structure also. That is what I have seen in the net basically. That people have एक पेड़ के आकार के सोलर पैनल, पेड़ के आकार के डिफरेंट ओरिएंटेशन में विंड के पैनल्स आए हैं which are able to produce it out this. Okay. And then the ultimate mantra, what is the ultimate mantra is that we want is basically a clean green energy. I'll finish it out of here because it is 4:40 basically. We started with 3:30 basically. I'm sorry, I'm extending. I don't have a way to extract it. Our final mantra is we want clean global energy. We should have a less carbon content emission in it, that is called carbon footprint in it, so that we can live, our generation can live forever basically. This is what the global mantra for energy or the main mantra for energy is. With this I finish it off I'll show you the last slide basically, because it is already 40 basically. These are all, what are the components which are emitted it out, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, then oxide of the sulfur, nitrogen. These are all culprits of air pollution. Then the particulates which create out the smokes and all that. These are all things. You should all know basically, since the time is already 4:40 basically. Madam, please show us the last slide basically. Yeah, last slide. That is in the conclusion. Yeah. In the conclusion, I just want to say is that the very sad part is we less developed people, or we the people from Eastern civilization, are using less. I mean, all the natural resources. Rather, we have got that conservative approach in our mind. We are not believing much in the wastages. But if you look at the developed countries, basically America and all that, or European countries, their consumption level is very, very high. And then another is this consumer culture, basically, is eroding our natural resources. They're gulping down our natural resources, I mean, galloping our natural resources wherever it is available. Like if you look out the China, they have been gone, they're purchasing the land just because to capture all these natural resources. All is territorial invention to all various countries is just because to secure his natural resources. Then another, all behind this concept of this natural resources in our lifestyle is this is there is another very parameter which is again by UNO, that is called happiness index. And in this happiness index, basically all developed countries are very, very, I mean, lagging basically, or Bangladesh, Nepal, they have got a very high happiness index. That means the people are very happy. They have got happiness is more. वो ज़्यादा सुखी है basically. That is what I wanted to show. And then another thing, to live sustainably, सबके साथ एक मिलजुल के साथ में रखना है. तो मी फर्स्ट वाली जो सिविलाइजेशन है कि मैं बकरी वाला जो मैं है, इससे हमको निकाल के हम में ज्यादा बिलीव करना है, हम में ज्यादा प्रीचिंग करना है, हम में ज्यादा हमको रादर एक्ट करना है. दिस इज व्हाट थिंग इज. एंड फाइनली आई वांट टू से इज दैट वी हैव टू रिस्पेक्ट आवर अर्थ, बिकॉज earth and its component, essential component, they are all seniors basically, they are all life givers to us. If you don't respect them, we can see the whole unpredictability of the nature which is we can find in weather. गर्मी के दिनों में ठंडी और ठंडी के दिनों में गर्मी और बरसात के दिन में गर्मी, और जहाँ 100 साल का रिकॉर्ड नहीं टूटा वहां 100 साल का रिकॉर्ड गर्मी में या बारिश में हो रहा है. इट इज ऑल जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ आवर the angry temperament which the nature is reflecting on. With this, I finish it off. I mean, I'm sorry I've prolonged my natural resources presentation to a very broader aspect, because it is all whatever of my observation is concerned, being a teacher and being a faculty member involved to this one, and being indirectly associated to this, and being being a mentor for NSS and all that. I have to prepare myself so that I motivate to you people, so that this doesn't finish it off with your second year class. Basically, environment studies doesn't finish out of with your second year. Rather, it becomes one of the effort which gives you a pleasantful lifestyle. It saves your money, it earns your money, and you can adopt this environment science as a career. You can go for photography, you can go for terrace gardening, you can earn money, you can take any padi jaga, barren land, you can plant any lost varieties, you can rear those trees and plants. People are doing out various experimentations. So that means, like you young people, environment science is very young. You can do anything and everything in this one. And if you do it in a professional way, you can be a Padma Vibhushan award winners and all that. If you look at those, many of the tribal peoples have received this award from Kerala, Tamil Nadu and all that. So, I mean, the whole scope is available to you as far as the environment is concerned. So with this best wishes I give, that don't take this environment science just as a study material, but if you can take this subject as a passion, and you can do whatever you want. I mean, sky is the limit for you. You can earn money, you can get a recognition. And wishing you all the best for the people who are thinking of adopting this environment science as a passion for their life. Goodbye. Thanking you.
Thank you, sir. Students,
Yeah.
any questions for sir? You can also ask sir if you are having any questions regarding your project work. सर आप थोड़ा प्रोजेक्ट वर्क को लेकर भी अगर थोड़ा सा इनको बता देंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा, भले ही शॉर्ट में बताइए.
What I have to tell about? I mean, we have already decided that every student has to individually submit a project and all that. The guidelines will be available to, will be floated to them. A topic you can take, whatever topic you want, but the topic has to be registered first, so that the topic is not overlapping. Or if it is overlapped, then it will create a problem for we the people basically. So you register a topic with the subject concerned teacher, and you give a brief guideline that what you are going to do in that topic. That is, we call in a technical language, we call synopsis. We call. I mean, what is your periphery in which you want to submit that idea? Because if you take a rainwater harvesting, it has got various components. What sort of a work you want to present through that rainwater harvesting? Or if you want to work out gray area, suppose you want to work on gray area or wasteland, what you want to do? Chemical analysis you want to do, or you want to go for plantation, what sort of plantation will make them fit for this. So there is a scope basically. So whatever topic you are choosing, let that be an individual effort, let that be an artistic effort, let that be individually unique in terms of your presentation, and let it be brief. I put it down a limit of around 30 to 40 pages, because around 30 to 40 pages explain the concepts at a graduate level. That was what my, I mean, suggestion was basically. If you write a material for 30 to 40 pages, starting from definition to conclusion, it satisfies the natural man's graduate level program students' curiosity. This is what, I mean, I'll suggest it out. And then I want to request all students to have a deadline, because we don't have much time. This semester is also finishing out. Right now we are in February 15. So that means you have got 2 semesters packed, one after the other, like a courses of the food basically. I mean, odd semester and even semester. यानी अभी just एक हो सकता है 15-20 दिनों में आपकी जो है विंटर वाली एग्जाम शुरू होगी, और वो खत्म नहीं होती कि थोड़ा देर के लिए पढ़ाई होगी, फिर फाइनल सेमेस्टर्स हो जाएगी. So this you won't get much time. So I request it out to start preparing for this project work very seriously, and do it in a within a time frame submission, and that too with an online submission. I have requested it out. Okay. Yes.
Okay, students, any question? If you have, you can get your queries cleared. Okay, it seems that you are also exhausted.
Yeah.
Students,
Yeah.
so if no questions are there, then you can start leaving. We will meet in next class